Hey, how's it going? And welcome to Whiskey Whims with me, Stuart. I was going to wear my cap, but I don't know, it feels quite warm. I'm actually roasting here, sitting here. I don't know if it's partly the light and partly the fact that I'm going to be doing a live with no topic and nothing really to talk about. But yeah, I do need some comments in the chat to see if this microphone's working, because I've got no feedback other than yourselves to figure out if this is working or not. So yeah, basically, I didn't have time this week. Had a lot going on, so I didn't have time to do a video and edit one. So I decided I would do a kind of impromptu live, and the opportunity came up. So yeah, all I'm going to be doing is drinking and talking shit. So it's basically just going to be nothing too serious. I've got some jams that I want to open, share. One, two that I'm going to be opening tonight. One that I want to discuss a little bit about, and maybe give a little bit of hate to the distillery, as I always do. You can probably guess which distillery that is, which distillery I don't get on with very well. But I want to discuss this whiskey in particular. So yeah, I've got also a beer just to ease the nerves, and I can see everybody's saying that it's working. But weird continental 1930s feedback sounds coming from Bart. Let me see if this makes. Let's see if there's a connection issue. Oh, there we go. I don't know if that's any better. You'll let me know if the mic's any better, and if not, I can just move on and get earplugs, Bluetooth ones. So we'll see who's in at the moment. We've got Mark. Thanks for joining, Mark. I don't know if are you still on holiday. Yeah, I don't know how well this mic's working. I'm going to try and adjust it. I've kind of like left everything to last minute. I'm terrible for this, but yeah, hopefully that's better. We've got Andrew saying I can hear you okay, so yeah, thumbs up from me. I hope it's all good. Christine's in. How's it going? I hope you're well. I hope you're all well. And David's also here. So yeah, like I said, it's nothing too serious. I was trying to make it like a kind of pub vibe where we were just going to drink, and anything you wanted to talk about, you could bring up. We can discuss it. But yeah, my first dram is going to be a 30-year-old Springbank. I thought I would start strong. Let's just see how well that comes up. Yeah, so this was Stevie was in Hitlockery, and he went to Drinkmonger, which is a kind of franchise or a franchise, I think it's right. It's tied in with the Royal Malt Whiskies, that same group. So he was in there talking to them, and it was his birthday on the day he went up. So he managed to grab some special jams from them, and one of them was this 30-year-old Springbank. I'm not sure if he's tried it because he's not really a big fan of Springbank, but as you can see, there's like barely anything in there. And I'm not going to say that they should have given me more or should have given him more because it's obviously a huge whiskey. Yeah, and I've had a 30-year-old, yeah, boom, definitely starting strong. Yeah, I'm hoping it's good. I have had a 30-year-old before. I don't think it's the same one. It could be. But Gav from Gav's Drams, he gave me a little sample of the 30-year-old Springbank. I done like a YouTube short of it as a kind of jokey short because I didn't actually review it because it was just, yeah, there's not enough to review it in this little sample. It's just that good. There's so much going on. And I've always struggled with older Springbank, thinking that the older it gets, it kind of takes away from it. But that 30-year-old really, did open my mind and opened my eyes. And I think that's the oldest. I think these are the oldest Springbanks I've had, 30-year-old. So yeah, we'll get this poured. It's in a plastic container and it's been sitting for a while, so I hope that doesn't. I maybe should have poured it in a glass one, but I hope that doesn't take away from the taste. Yeah, and I'm going to leave this. Get every last drop out. I don't even know if you can see it. Try to get every little inch of it out. There we go. One more drop. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what yous are drinking. Obviously, Springbank 30 is huge. I'm not expecting everybody to be drinking a Springbank 30-year-old, but yeah, I'd be interested to see what you're drinking. Yeah, I don't know if I need to let it open up a bit, let it sit for a bit, but It does smell like Springbank. I'm not sure if there is a bit of, or if it's just a power of suggestion. I was trying to see if I can smell a bit of plastic. I don't know what type of this. It looks like just a normal sample bottle. It doesn't look like it would impart much, but it could impact on the flavour a little. Anyway, I'm going to let this sit, and I'm going to crack a can. I've got some neck oil with me. Oh, and I think this is a dog or the cat coming up. Yep, it's dog. You're not going to want to be in here. There's not a lot going on. I'll show you the camera, and that's about it. You going back out? Do you want to go out and say hi to the camera? This is where I spill all the Springbank. Say hi. Jura just got a jag today as well. He was getting a health checkup, and he was a big boy, clever boy. Are you going back down? You going back to see mummy? Yes, you were a good boy. You get steak for your dinner tomorrow. Yeah, so let's see. If you want to make a competition of it, yeah, Andrew, I would love to. I would love to hear what you're drinking. If it's going to be something mega, I'm looking forward to this. How old is Jura? He's 4. No, he's 5. He's 5-year-old, but and obviously the cat's only 18 weeks. 18 weeks. So I don't know if the cat will make an appearance though. But yeah, Jura is 5. How time flies. Anyway, so yeah, I've got my beer. I've got my Springbank 30. What's everybody drinking? What have we got in the chat? What are we all drinking? I don't know about the smell. I'm trying to think of the last time I had a whiskey. I think it may have been Tuesday. It must have been Tuesday. And the 27-year-old Macallan with Stevie, the dram full malt and heel. It is it's a fantastic example of Macallan. And that's good. God, that's just quality. I'm going to add some water to it. I don't know what the ABV is. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head without like Googling or anything. And the sample didn't have the ABV on it, but I'm going to add just a little bit of water on it. Hopefully next time when I do a live, I'll get a guest on. I want to do a live discussing new distilleries, and I'm hoping to get. It was last minute for Ryan tonight, but I'm hoping to get Ryan on, who is distillery manager at 8 Doors, just to discuss about new distilleries popping up, the feasibility of them, I suppose, the longevity, these kind of micro distilleries that are popping up, and how long they're going to last, and if we're going to have some sort of bubble pop. Obviously, we had like Campbelltown, which was the capital of the whisky capital of Scotland, and they had over 30 distilleries, and then all of a sudden, shit hit the fan, and they. Sorry, I am swearing. I don't normally swear, but I thought I'd be a bit laid back. Yeah, shit hit the fan, and all these distilleries closed down. So here's the cat. He's just wandered in. You want to say hi to people? So we'll get the cat as well. You see the pillow. Look, say hi. Look at you. He's an absolute nightmare. Yeah. You going? You going to explore? Please do not tear up my cables. He's into everything at the moment, and he's an absolute nightmare. He's a terror. He's an absolute cutie and just lovely when he's sleeping. But no, he's a nightmare. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, I wanted to go live with Ryan. New distilleries and if they're really, I don't think I suppose that's not really for us to judge. But if it's required, all these new distilleries, if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, if it will continue, because there's so many. I feel at the moment that are just popping up. You've got 2 about to come into Campbelltown, 2 more. Dalrata, and then there's another one, Wolf something or other. But you've also got like new ones that are already kind of newish. Dornoch, Rassy, um, what's the other one? The Ardnamurchan. So you've Neon, you've got all these kind of, yeah. This, anyway, I want to leave it for a different time to discuss. But I also want to do a live or some sort of video on shops, and I'd probably get someone like from the Taves as well. Ryan's a part of our Taves group, but I'd probably get someone like Gary or Matt, who are both, or maybe both of them, because it'd probably be a three-way conversation, and I like myself a bit of a three-way, so we could probably get them in and do. He's drinking my water. That water's not for you. That's for Daddy when he gets a little bit leery. So aye, we could do a kind of shop discussion and what makes. I kind of want to like not interview them, but have a discussion about what makes a good shop, what possibly makes things, what makes a shop kind of flourish, and also what makes a shop bad. Because I always feel if you go into a whiskey shop and they've got jams for you to try, that's always a good sign. If you go in and it's kind of a bit standoffish, and people even just asking like, "Oh, do you know what you're looking for?" I feel like some shops lack that. A majority of whiskey shops do that, but just the interaction of pouring a dram and having a dram and discussing the dram can go a long way. And that'll probably lead us on to one of the bottles that I'm going to discuss tonight, why I ended up buying that ultimately. So we're looking at the chat, see what's going on. So Bart's just on the beer, easing into it. That's a good idea. I've not had a drink since, like I said, since Tuesday. I had a few jams with Stevie. Unfortunately, it was his mum's funeral on Tuesday, so we had a few to kind of commemorate her. And yeah, just take the edge off a bit. But I was planning on not drinking for the full week, and then this Tuesday popped up, and then this popped up. So yeah, because I've last trip home, I only had 2 weeks off, and something went on at work, and I was focused on that. It wasn't exactly a pleasant experience, and I was drinking quite a lot, like drinking consistently, not like to the point I've been absolutely steaming, but just constant, a couple of nights in a row and quite a few drams. Beer, no whisking here, unfortunately. Yeah, so Mark's on holiday, so yeah, beer will suffice, especially the beer you're drinking. Not that I'm opposed to day drinking, but it's only 11 a.m. Yeah, the earliest I've had a dram, I believe, was 6:30 or 7 a.m. It was on the morning of Christmas, and I'm pretty sure it was. I'm sure I gave you a dram of this actually. It was the Springbank Rumwood, the 15-year-old. I've got it on my Instagram somewhere. I'm pretty sure that was the dram I had one Christmas morning a couple of years ago. So what a dram as well. That was such a great bottle. I've got another bottle sitting in the cupboard that I'm just going to leave for a while. I've got no urgency to open it, although it was a really good jam. One of my favourite. Is that a bit too far to say? But no, I think it has been one of my favourite Springbanks in recent times. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it and went through that bottle rapidly. The cat's back, so I might have to jump over my obstacle course of equipment here as he tries to chew every cable, and I don't want to electrocute himself. But yeah, I'll see what else is going on. 11 a.m. is a fine enough time to have a drink, especially if you've got nothing else going on that later today. If you do have something going on, then yeah, be sensible. So Andrew, I think the oldest bottle I can reach is a North British 50. Oof, but I don't have a glass in this room. There's always an excuse, Andrew. Get a glass or just drink it from the bottle. Be classy. Willie's in as well. Good to see you, Willie! Exclamation mark! Exclaiming! Brilliant. A little bit of conversation going on here. So close to ripping the German shirt. Yeah, it's a replica. I don't know what year it is, but I really like it. It's a bit shiny, a bit too shiny. Kind of shows that it's fake. But yeah, I think I got it for Christmas. I really do like the German shirts for some reason. I blame you for my love of Springbank. You sent me a sample of that rum 15 wood, no going back. Yeah, I did recall that. I swear I didn't read the chat. But yeah, I really enjoyed that whiskey. I don't think I had a bad dram out of it. Sometimes you go through a bottle and it can be either a roller coaster where sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't, or you can get like one bad dram. But yeah, I didn't have a bad dram out that. And like I said, I've still got a bottle sitting in the cupboard. I was thinking about doing a collection video uh, I usually do my collection videos of the whiskey shelf and what I'm drinking currently. But that's not my full collection. I've got whiskies in the cupboard that are sealed. And that's one of my hesitations for doing the video because I'm supposed to be all about opening your bottles, and that's why we're going to open two tonight. But I've got all these bottles just sitting in the cupboard, waiting to be drunk. But yeah, my spending habits have definitely changed this year, and I'll probably repeat myself in the collection video if I do it. But I've definitely changed my spending habits so that I'm buying less, and I'm trying to open or I'm trying to finish bottles first and then open more. So I think I recently killed a Daft Mill. I killed a Hazelburn Runlets and killed a 10-year-old, 28-year-old Tormore. Try to think what else is on that side of the shelf that I've killed. I killed something else recently. Oh yeah, Blair Athol, a Sauternes cask Blair Athol. So yeah, I thought I would open up some bottles, and I'll need to have a rejig of my shelf anyway at some point. So we'll see what else have we got. Jeff's here. Hiya, Jeff. Yeah, just a laid back format tonight. A couple of drams, a couple of beers, nothing too serious, no topic of conversation as yet. Just blathering my way through this. But yeah, I'm currently drinking a 30-year-old Springbank that was gifted to Stevie, who's my father-in-law, or almost father-in-law, and he then gave it to me because he's not the biggest fan of Springbank. So there you go. What have you got? I hope you're drinking something. It's a Thursday night. It's time to celebrate. Thursday's a new Friday. Andrew, I've got 6 sealed bottles and 873 open. That's mental. I hope they're insured. I hope they're in like a fireproof. I mean, mines aren't necessarily. Well, it's in where the boiler is. I suppose there's some sort of fireproof in there, but that must be a huge fire hazard. 873 bottles. Jesus. GC peeps. Well. That. Yeah, I think I've seen some of your. Like I've seen some of your spreadsheet before. Yeah, and you do have some absolute belters in there. I don't know how you're ever going to get through them all. I don't know what your plans are with them. If you've got kids or whatever, if it's going to be an inheritance or you're going to try and drink yourself into an early grave. I don't know. But that seems like a lot of bottles to get through. A lot of bottles for one man is what I'm saying. So if you want to share the burden, we can definitely split it up, and I'll help you get through it. Yeah, just drinking a 30-year-old Springer. I got a banging Westland American Oak. Yeah, it's words can't really. I mean, I could try and describe it, but I'm not. I'm not in the right place. There should have been one that I just sat down with and took some notes and listened to. I don't know, maybe some fucking Beethoven or something. But no, I'm on a live, nervously blundering, and I am drinking it. Not as quick as I could be. I could be drinking it quicker. I am taking my time with it, but no, it wasn't a big sample to be fair. It didn't fill this. It was maybe even just a quarter of it full. Yeah, so it came from the Drinkmonger shop in Pitlochry, similar to Royal Mill whiskies. So yeah, it's fantastic. You can tell it's Springbank. I feel like you can. It's just not as. I feel like older Springbank isn't as dirty, isn't as funky, but nonetheless, it's a magical dram, and it's 30-year-old Springbank. How much are they? About 800 quid a bottle. Mental. I wouldn't be parting my money for that. The most I've spent on a bottle is 375, and do I regret it to this day? I don't know if I regret it. I don't think it was the wisest purchase. It was a flash deal on the Whisky Exchange or something like that, down from £500. It was a good dram, but not worth £375. So maybe I do regret it. But yeah, I've tried not to spend anything near that because there's so much more whiskey out there that's just as good and more affordable. Don't tell my landlord. They're just, oh, it's so good. It's just really tasty. Damn, that's a good dram. Whew. I don't know how I'm going to follow that. I've got some things to follow it, but I don't think we're going to compare. They were just higgledy-piggledy throughout my one-bedroom flat. I'm planning a spectacular week. Um, well, not trying to be premature, but if I get an invite, I'm sure that's terrible. I suppose you brought it up. Yeah, a one-bedroom. Where the hell do you store them all? Like my missus gets on at me for the whiskey I've got, and I mean, I hide it out of the way. You must just be like tripping over it. I mean, it could be a big one-bedroom flat, I suppose, but it must just be everywhere. Like I'm just imagining now, like some sort of comical sketch where you just go to open a cupboard to grab a tin of beans or something, and all these whiskey bottles are just flying in your face. It must be madness. Uh, uh, yeah, maybe a Ben Rennis. Yeah, I don't have a Ben Rennis on me. I no Ben Rennis at this time. In fact, what is this? No, I think this is Glen Elgin. Yeah, I think it's Glen Elgin. That might be the next thing I open. The next whiskey I have. So cupboard shelves on the floor. Yeah. To be fair, I know one of the guys I speak to, Tony. He keeps some of his whiskey on the floor as well. And I know Stevie's shelves are now overflowing to the point where he's got whiskey on the floor. So it must just be like a minefield of whiskies in your apartment, in your flat, just them all over the place. Yeah, I suppose it's not a bad thing. No, better, worse problems to have. So yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to talk about anything in particular. If you have got anything you want to say, any drams that you've been enjoying recently. The one in fact, I'm going to drink it next because when I had it, it's been open now for a while. When I had it, I might have had a clouded judgment, but possibly not because I have had a dram. I think it was the night after I bought it, so and I still enjoyed it. So I'm hoping I'll still get on with it because, like I said, it's a distillery I'm not really that fond of, and I've never made that more obvious. I'll constantly go on about it, but I just don't see I see the appeal in a sense, but I also feel like there's a lot of hype and snowballing effect around this distillery, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like there's a lot of, I don't want to use the word sheep. I feel like there's a lot of collective thinking going on with this distillery, which isn't bad. I mean, people might enjoy it as much as they say they do, which is fine. But anyway, it's Ardnamurchan. I mean, I've probably gone about it more than other people. So this Ardnamurchan, back to our little shop story. I went into the Good Spirits. I'm going to take a drink of beer first. You can't go wrong with neck oil. I went into the Good Spirits. What are they called? Good Spirits Whiskey Company or Good Spirits Company in Glasgow. I was out with the missus. We were having like a couple of cocktails and stuff and some good food, and went in dragging around some of the whiskey shops. We only went to three. We went to three, and yeah, like I said, I went in the Good Spirits. And what I was saying earlier about shops, what I think makes a good shop is definitely giving out samples because one, it's free, but also it allows you to try a product before you buy. And this was that prime example. This is cask 1060, AD 0818. I think 18 is the year, that would make sense. But they were saying this is made with what barley is it? Golden Promise barley, which yields a fewer bottles. Yeah, it's got a smaller yield of whiskies, but they went for this one anyway after trying two, three, four casks, I think it was. I think two of them were Golden Promise, one of them was sherry or something and something else. But they ended up going for this, and I tried this in the shop. And like I said, not a big fan of the Ardnamurchan, but straight away I thought this was banging. So it's 674 bottles. It's unpeated as well, which also I think says a lot. I personally feel, I don't know for anybody else, you'll need to let me know if you are the same. I don't know about you, like Bart, Andrew, I don't know if Jeff is still in, but or maybe Mark as well if he's still here. I know he's on holiday. But do you feel like peated whiskey or some peated whiskey kind of masks the I don't want to say masks bad whiskey, but I feel like when it's a young whiskey, peat really helps it. really elevates it and brings it to a better position than it being unpeated. So the fact that this is unpeated is what I'm trying to say. The fact that this is unpeated, I'm giving it more credit because it's still relatively young. Like I say, it's hard work that I don't get on with, and the peat's not hiding it. So yeah, I feel like the fact that it's peated, unpeated, makes it better. Anyhow, so yeah, unpeated Spanish oak, ex Oloroso sherry, but Golden Promise barley. It's 58.9% ABV. I bought this after trying it. We ended up in the pot still. We said we weren't going to go there, and I lost my favourite hat in there. I've been trying to get it. I feel like I've got ADHD here. I'm just going off in tangents all over the place. But yeah, I lost like I've got a black hat with two little pink horns on it and a wee smiley face, and I lost that in the pot still, and I'm gutted. I didn't leave with it, so it's definitely there somewhere, or someone's taken it, because I didn't leave with it on my head. They checked the cameras, but anyway, I bought this in the good spirits. We ended up in the pot still, and I opened it in the pot still and gave a dram to a random dude who was sitting with his wife, and they came on the chairs with us, on the table with us, because we had the only space left. So they sat down, we started talking to them, and I said, I'll open this and you can try it. I didn't drink it. Like I said, I'd already tried it in the shop, and I had a dram the night before, the night after buying it. So I'm going to pour it. I've got water, and I want to see if it's still as good as I first thought. I'm just going to clean, like I said, I've got some water here. I'm going to clean my glass. There we go. So we've got, here we go. See what we've got here. I dislike most Ardnamurchan I've tried, but I do have a bottle of the Paul Le Noir. Fuck knows. Yeah, that PL bottle, I think I had maybe the second one. Someone gave me a sample of the second one, and I really enjoyed that. I actually think I've done a whiskey short of it, just kind of 1 minute review. Yeah, good stuff. But same, the feeling's kind of neutral. I've tried a lot of Ardnamurchans. I've got a bottle of the second release. I was actually watching one of my old collection videos today, and I really enjoyed that the first time I had it blind. And then the more I've got on into the bottle, I just think it's a bit generic. But yeah, Barflies Look Away. It's Ardnamurchan, yeah. I enjoyed the poll, but hardly anything else from there. It has been something to write home about. Yeah, I don't think there's been anything great. But what I will say, once I get into this into the glass, this is absolutely banging, from what I can remember, and I hope it's still good, because there we go. Oh yes. Yeah, I need to get drams out of this. There we go, because when I had it in the shop, that could have been a bit of romanticism, or a bit of an incline to buy it because I'd tried it. But no, I remember just smelling it. Yeah, and saying to Louise, like, you need to smell this. No, it's still, yeah. I can't wait to review this. I can't wait to spend more time with this, and give it a bit of patience and well-deserved time, take some notes, because yeah, really enjoying it. The nose anyway. I'm going to give a little bit of a taste. I've got no space. You'll see me stretching down all night. Like, I've got no space. If I could show you, I would. I've got an old, I'm not an old, I've got a Christmas pop-up tree box that I've got all my stuff on. I've got the laptop on a washing basket, and I'm sitting on Louise's makeup chair for her. What do you call them things again? Those like mirrored. They've got like a little desk and a mirror, and they do makeup on there. Is it just a makeup desk? I'm sure there's like a fancy, maybe a French word for it. It seems French. Yeah, we're going to try this. If I got ADHD, please tell me no. Yeah, oh, I mean, it's hefty. It's strong, but God, it's so malty. it's toast. It's just lovely. It's oh, like thick kind of farmhouse toast, maybe some butter on it or something. Just lovely white, fatty, terrible for you toast. Like really unhealthy, thick, spongy toast. It's just fantastic. Yeah, and it's so creamy as well on just there and finishing that. Yeah, it's just brilliant. I don't know if there's any point in doing a review of this because you know what the outcome will be. But I'm going to wait until I get a bit down it. Hopefully it doesn't change because currently that this is just it's blown me away. Great. What's happening, folks? Yeah, Matt's tuning in. I'm sure Matt's on holiday as well. No, I was just saying about having a laid back night, thinking about doing a live stream in the future about maybe talking about shops, what makes a good shop, and yeah, having yourself or Gary and as you both own, yeah, Kinnaird Head Whiskies. I was just trying to think if that was the right word. But Kinnaird Head Whiskies, yeah, great shop. Check them out. You had a sale on the other day for your 4th birthday, and yeah, it was good prices. I think I bought a bottle of the Thompson Bros from you. So yeah, what we got? I had a black Trilby Stone in the Lipton. Like, yeah, it's not great when you get things taken. I mean, it was my own fault. By this point, I had consumed maybe more than I should have, alcohol wise. I definitely had cocktails as well. That is spit. I had cocktails, so throw that into the mix, and then finishing on whiskey, which is why like I had the Ardmurk and Midgie, which is why I didn't really discount or but why I didn't put too much credit on not enjoying that because I did have cocktails and stuff before, not right before, but I had cocktails earlier on in the day. But anyway, I can't really blame the person for taking it because I left it myself. Took it off, put it down at the side of me, and yeah, I just forgot to lift it, and I'm gutted, absolutely gutted. Dressing table, no, the female got it right. It is a vanity, yeah, a vanity unit. That's what you call it. Yeah, yeah. So I was also thinking about doing. I don't know if it's worth doing like a video on. I've seen a few people doing it. I've done like 5 whiskies couldn't really live without, or 5 whiskies you're drinking at the moment. I'm not the biggest fan of those videos. I mean, they get views and stuff, but I feel like they're just kind of clickbaity and just content for the sake of content. Like the whole channel is supposed to be doing reviews, but I mean, if it gets more people involved, then I suppose. But I was thinking about doing a kind of one whiskey per region, because I think I've seen a few people doing that type of video. Charlie's trying to claim my lamp. It does look like a tree, to be fair. I can't really blame you. But yeah, I was thinking about doing a video like that, and I don't know if anyone else has ever thought about it. One whiskey per region. I was trying to think about it earlier. I've not watched many videos on it. I probably would need to see what the format is, whether it's like one distillery or whether it's actually one bottle per region, because I think distillery per region would be pretty easy for me. I think there would be some arguments for between some distilleries, but I think overall one distillery per region would be easy. But one bottle or one whiskey, that would be mad. That'd be tough. Even just trying to think about it now, I don't know. I can't confidently say that I would have a. You better not click that mouse. The mouse is on the floor, and of course the cat is at it. Yeah, I don't think I could confidently say. Like I always think about what's my favourite whiskey, or what's the best whiskey I've ever had, and it's a comment you get from people who aren't maybe into whiskey. They always say, "Well, what's your favourite whiskey?" And I kind of give a generic answer of, "Well, I don't have a favourite whiskey. I have a favourite whiskey of at the time, or what I'm drinking." But I always think about this, ponder it, whether I do have like the best whiskey I've ever tried. I always go back to like Glendronach 33-year-old, but I think that's been overtaken by. I had a rare Ayrshire, which I think is Ladyburn. I had that recently at a hotel. I think it was 27 quid a dram, which is mental, but it was fantastic. It was absolutely superb, and I'm scouring the options for it. But yeah, that's I suppose a question that I would like to put to yourselves, put to the chat. Do you have a favourite like jam or the best jam you've ever tried? Is it something you could confidently say if some randomer came up to you, put a gun to your head and said, "Give me your give me your money, give me your best jam you've ever had"? Would you be able to do it on the spot without getting I don't know if without getting a gun to a bullet to the head? Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, does anybody have a favourite whiskey? Like not just a good whiskey, like the best whiskey you've ever tried. Is there something like that? Because I think for me it's that Glendronach 33, but because I've not had it in so long, and because it was like the start of my journey, I don't feel like I'm as confident with that. Whereas that rare Ayrshire that I had recently, oh god, that was just something else. Just just absolutely unreal. No way to describe it. I think I did have some notes, but I was at a bar or a pub. It was a pub. It was a bar at a hotel. That's what I call it. I hate using Americanisms, but yeah, it was a pub in the hotel, which I suppose is a bar. But anyway, yeah, it was fantastic. But I didn't have the time to sit down and take notes or anything like that. So uh, Vanity is US, dressing table is British. They're both correct. Yeah, yeah. Like I just said, I don't like using Americanisms, and there I am using vanity, a vanity unit. I think when we bought it, I think it came from like IKEA or something, so they called it a vanity unit. So, damn the Swedes. uh, vanity is a dirty sim. Who names furniture after that? Yeah, yeah. It's clear to see why it's called a vanity unit or vanity desk, whatever. But yeah, it's like calling a fridge a gluttony gluttony cupboard. I don't know why I find that so funny, but I am hilarious. God damn it. Um, I'm so stupid. Why is anybody actually watching this? I tell people I have about 500 favourites. Yeah, I suppose that'll get them to shut up. But then do they not ask you just to list them? So yeah, I am asking the chat. No one's answering. Do you have a favourite whiskey? Do you have like a whiskey that has been the best whiskey you've ever tried? That's blown like all other whiskies out of the water, and something that keeps you up at night that you dream about, or that you think about when you're making love. Is there a whiskey like that that you're just constantly, it's in your head, you can't stop thinking about it? I don't know. I think that Radio Show is the one for me. It helps get me going, definitely. I don't know what I've turned into. Yeah, this are the Murkin. I don't know if there's tasting notes on it. There is not, but it's absolutely fantastic, and I will try and get drams to people. I was so surprised when I tried it in the shop. I'd already bought a Springbank 12 cask strength. They had that on the shelves. It was the last one there, and I've never had a Springbank 12. I've had like a couple of drams of it, samples, but I've never had a full bottle myself. So I decided to pick that up. It was destiny from never having one. So I thought, yeah, I'll go grab that. And then I can't remember his name. He's got the majestic kind of moustache and beard, ginger curly hair. I'm sure he owns it, or he's like the manager. Anyway, good spirits. He gave me a dram of this Arna Murkin, and already I'd spent like £72 on this Springbank, which I think's a lot expensive. I don't know what the cask strength normally goes for, but it's a little bit expensive, or a little bit more expensive, a little bit more expense than I was expecting to pay. There's probably a better way to put it. And then I ended up buying this just because it was, yeah, it blew me away, and it's still. I mean, I try not to get too over enthusiastic about whiskies, because you don't want to lead anyone astray. But this is just great. And that's the thing about cask strengths are the Morkins. I've had some that have been fantastic. I've had some that have been absolutely crap. And this one just hits the mark. So what have we got? But I don't have a favourite, but I'll always remember Longrow 16 matured and Chardonnay casks. Yes. It was only a sample, but it was amazing. A wonderful whiskey. I believe you were given that by Matt, possibly. He gave me a sample of that, and yeah, I forgot about that until you mentioned it. Yeah, that was stunning. Um, I'm sure he said he was able to pick that up in Tesco and stuff in Asda back in the day, back in the day. Um, but yeah, I've had the dram of that and absolutely unreal, great stuff. My two birthday drams are Highland Park the Dragon. Oh yeah, I believe you've mentioned that before. 1961 and Lechec 42-year-old. The 62-year-old Glen Grant I tried was once pretty amazing. So was this a sample or like a dram that you tried? But that's 62-year-old. Yeah, I've had some. Pardon me. I've had some. Pardon me again. Old whiskey. I had broccoli for dinner, and for some reason it gets me quite gassy. Um, yeah, I done an old and rare tasting with, I don't know if it was East Coast Whiskey Club or something like that. It was some club, and a lot of the drams were a bit, yeah, just all fusty and quite similar. There was one or two that stood out, but a lot of them were, yeah, you could just tell they were old, but there was nothing too engaging with them. But yeah, 62-year-old. I don't think I've had anything that old. Definitely not whiskey anyway. Um, Willie, I describe all whiskey as situational. A best dram is therefore dependent on the where, when, and with whom. Very diplomatic, but very smart and insightful. It's true, I suppose. This one, when I tried it in the good spirits, was just fantastic. But it's good to see that I'm still enjoying it. But yeah, I know what you mean. I tried the Glendronach 33-year-old and Stevie gave me a dram of that. I've had several drams of that. That was lovely. Um, and in the Rare Ayrshire, it was just like a one-off. I was up there for work. It was the Malmaison in Aberdeen, just up from Union Street. I can't remember what the street's called. It's next to the Chester. Uh, and I was going through their whiskey list. I seen they had this cabinet, this display of um, all these different whiskies, all these old and rare whiskies. And this one stood out to me for some reason. I thought, yeah, I'm going to try that as a signatory bottle, and the one in the kind of oval shape cylinders. Is cylinder the right word? But yeah, I tried that and absolutely unreal. That situation, the where, when, with who, people were who I was with, I didn't really know. The where, yeah, Aberdeen for work, but the whiskey just, yeah, absolutely unreal. That must have been that good then, because how much better could it be? Uh, I can't imagine not a worse place to be, but a less enticing place. Um, yeah, no, it was a fantastic gram. Ah, yum yum yum. The Glen Grant was a break-even dram at Dornoch Castle, so only. Woo. I'm just gonna take a drink. 150. 150 quid. Jeezy peeps. What do you do for a living? Um, my God, 150. I think I would. I think. I think the most I've paid for a dram is about 30 quid. Even at that, it's tough. 150. God, I'm tight. But not when it comes to whiskey, I suppose. But that just gives me the fear, the absolute fear. But I suppose break even. Good on Dornoch for that. 150. Fuck. 5 grand a bottle. Yeah, I suppose if they broke even on that, fair play. 5 grand for a bottle. Oh well. Would you, knowing? I suppose you did say it was amazing. Would you pay 5 grand for the bottle to have the bottle? Do you think it would be? Do you think it would be worth that? Just fixing that pillow. Yeah. Do you think it would be worth that if you paid for it? I don't know. It's hard to say. The prices of bottles. I feel like if you paid that, you probably wouldn't end up opening it, and then you would never know how good it was. And then if you did open it, and then you got to the bottom of it, I don't know. I feel like it would just be a regret. I don't know. Uh, when I paid 200 for a, oh, Jesus, you must have like won the a bet that night, or a coupon, football coupon accumulator or something, an Aki, or maybe you won the lottery that night. I don't know if that was the same night, but that's a lot of money for some liquid, for some liquid that's going to make you a little bit, yeah, tipsy. God, I hope you savoured every drop. I bet you if there was any in the bottom of it, you were trying to suck it out with a straw, get as much of it as you possibly could. Yeah, so this Arden working, what's that, 45 minutes? I hope it doesn't feel that long to you. It doesn't feel that long to me, but I also am quite aware that I am just talking to a phone, talking to a camera, which is a little off-putting, but it's good to have you comment in the chat, if that makes sense. It makes this a lot easier. Yeah, and a lot of fun, a lot more fun than just speaking into a camera, like recording a video. Live streams are more interactive in that way, and I wish I had more time to do them because the videos can be a little bit of I don't want to say alienating, but you're just talking in front of a camera with no one there. This feels like there's people around me. I don't feel alone, drinking alone on a Thursday night. Although my missus is downstairs, so I could go and drink with her. But she's off the alcohol for now. So yeah, I don't know if I've got anything else to say in this. It was £89 a bottle, which was a little bit expensive, or a little bit more expensive than I would have hoped as well. Like, it's young. What's that? 6-year-old or something? Maybe 5-year-old. So yeah, but it's single cask, and like I said, when I tried it, I just thoroughly enjoyed it, so I had to buy it. What else have we got here? Most I've paid is, Jesus, 2,720 quid for the Lechek. I've drank some and I've shared some. That's good. It's good that I suppose you've shared some. That is crazy. Yeah, I think I would get thrown out of the house if I paid that much for a bottle. Willie's saying, guys I was working with in Dubai who live there were paying special local rate too. They're paying $600 for a bottle of Black Label over the bar. Puts £150 in perspective. Situation. Yeah, cheesy peeps. Just bought just regular black bottle. That is Black Label. Shit, I see. I was taking that as a black bottle blend, Black Label. Yeah, $600 for Black Label. It's something I've been wanting to try more of. Is actually, like, I don't know why, but I've been trying to get into more blends. I've said it for a while. Trying to drink more blends, which I am drinking more of. But I don't know if it's worth my time going down Johnny Walker. I know some people like Johnny Walker and some people just detest it. Just barked again, sorry. But yeah, I feel like I should explore Johnny Walker. It seems like a really gateway whiskey as well for a lot of people. So maybe it is time to go back the way. What did I have recently? I had the Glen Scotia double wood, which is kind of supermarket whiskey, or I can get in the supermarket. I'm not sure if I still get it in there. Matt was saying I couldn't, so maybe I can't. But I got it originally in the supermarket. Anyway, double wood, and I kind of enjoyed it when I done it blind, but didn't really enjoy it that much. I don't know if you get to a point where you progress and advance from these supermarket whiskies that when you go back, you can't really appreciate them. Does your palate become I don't want to say too nuanced or too complex, but do these simpler drams just a bit more lacking for you when you've progressed? I don't know. Because I remember thinking Glenfiddich 12 for a while was an okay dram, and when I've recently tried that, I thought it was absolute garbage. So yeah, I don't know. I think I could go back to, or I would like to go back to supermarket whiskies to see where it kind of all started. But then in the same light, I don't think I would enjoy them the same as I enjoyed them originally. So yeah, what we say. Yeah, there's Matt to correct me. No, Camberton Hard is the supermarket stuff. Double cast maybe, but very rarely in the supermarket. I'm sure I got it in the supermarket. I'm sure I've seen it in like Morrison's a couple of times. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain the bottle that I bought, no, the bottle I got was from the supermarket. There was no other, I didn't buy it online. No, I definitely got it from the supermarket. What we got here? There's Andrew. At the other end of the scale, I only paid £13.50 for Cream Margaret 8 from Lidl. Yeah, how is that? Is it still available? I think Ralphie done a video on it. I've been meaning to buy it, but it's one of those where I feel terrible for this, but it's one of those where you go in and you think with good intentions, like, oh, I'm going to buy that, and it is only £13, £20 or whatever. But then you think, is it really going to be that good? Even though you've got all these people telling you, yeah, it's almost like still a skeptic, like quite doubtful of it. But yeah, I would like to know, is it great? With all the burping and farting, Louise stays very quiet. I was expecting a bit of yelling from across the room. No, I'm in the I'm in the her getting ready room. That's why the vanity unit has been discussed in length, because that's where I'm sitting. It's basically a room just for her, which I can't really complain about because I've got whiskey all over the shop. But yeah, that's all it is. This is where I am. She's downstairs. I'm not sure if she's playing Call of Duty or not because I can hear shooting. Maybe she's practicing for something. Anyway, so yeah, she's not in this room. Shut up and tell me I'm right. No, you're wrong. How's the holiday going anyway? I hope you're having a good time. Hope you're not absolutely sweating like I am right now. I am roasting. If I could take this top off, and I always get crap from the Dave's guys, or at least Bart. You give me crap for having my top off all the time, and there's a genuine reason that I have my top off all the time. It's because I am constantly roasting. I don't know if I run it like a higher temperature than normal, but I don't know. I'm roasting. I'm absolutely sweating. Like I am melting here. That light doesn't help. It's pretty hot, and the heating hasn't been on. It has been a relatively hot day, but nothing major. Anyway, back to the whiskey. Let's finish this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reviewing that. Looking forward to actually taking notes. I've taken no notes. Like I said, malty as hell. It's probably one of the maltiest strands. Like local barley can be quite malty and maybe reminiscent of, or not reminiscent of that, but like I could tie it to that. With the maltiness, I'm trying to think if I've ever had anything as malty as that, but probably local barley, one of the local barleys. But yeah, it's just it's a great dram. There's no getting around it. I wouldn't even try to keep the persona up as Mr. Arne Murkin hater and just say it's crap, but I wish I could. But no, it's damn good. I've got plenty of beer. I just seen Bart's comment. He needs a beer soon, a new beer soon. No, I've got most of my neck oil left, and I've got a Aldi's finest Weiss beer, Rheinbacher. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to pronounce it like that. Rheinbacher. I had to get the Queen Margaret when the newspaper said it was the best whiskey in the world. Did they actually? 3 months before a competition, it didn't win, was judged. Not bad as I expected. Well, that's good. I can't type tonight. Yeah, I see. I kind of guessed it wasn't bed. You can give me some credit. I'm not a complete. No, I was going to say a bad word, but I shouldn't. Stop the swearing. I have just come back to work. In fact, no, I haven't just come back to work. It's been a week. But when I'm out at work, the swearing is in constant flow. And when you come back, it can be quite hard to adjust when you're in certain situations. And foul language does not call for it, but all you can think about is foul language. Yeah, another tangent. So we're going to open a bottle. I'm going to let you choose. Spot on now, do Volkswagen. Yes, Volkswagen. Volkswagen. So we'll let you choose. I've got 2 bottles here. I'm going to open both anyway. So it's almost a pointless decision. But which one do I open first? This Secret Speyside 11-year-old Thompson Bros, which I'm pretty sure is Glenelgan. So I'm hoping it's going to be waxy. I'm going to be dripping in wax. That's not a kink, by the way. And we've got a 10-year-old Hazelburn, which also, when I was looking at an old collection video, my Campbelltown Springbank shelf was majority Kilkerran, Springbank, Long Rose, not a lot of Hazelburns. It's not really changed too much, but I have been buying more Hazelburns. I had originally thought that Hazelburn distillery wasn't really, or distillery, but whiskey wasn't really up my street. And then I ended up trying more. The fool that I am said that I wasn't the biggest fan of Hazelburn, and I had tried a fair few, to be fair, but maybe just ones that probably weren't right for me. But then, yeah, I've had several Hazelburns since that video, and I've been wanting to try a lot more because it's just banging good stuff. So the Hazelburn's 46%. I'm sure it's Glenelgan, is 48.5% ABV. So we've got one vote in. I don't want to wait here all night, so there's not a lot of people here, which I am not too bothered about. Like I said, it's better. Smaller group, intimate. So I have to vote for Thompson Bros. I was a crowdfunder after all. Yeah, I kind of missed that train. I don't know how I missed it, but I'm hoping they do something similar. I don't know if they have. If I missed that as well for the new distillery, which I'm not sure what they're calling either. Is it South Dornoch or something? Are they calling it something like that? I don't know. I've not been in touch with the guys for a while, but yeah, I would have loved to have had a cask of their stuff. I've got 2 bottles of their whiskey sitting sealed, their actual 5-year-old whiskey, so like their actual product. And I was gonna, depending on how tonight went, I was thinking about doing a discussion on new distilleries, and I was going to open one of the Dornochs tonight, but I'm going to wait until I've got Ryan on to talk about new distilleries, and hopefully can join me soon at some point, whenever I arrange that, and I'll get that Dornoch opened alongside another couple new distillery bottlings, get them opened as well. So there's that. They'll be doing something similar to the new site later this year, I believe. Yeah, I thought they might have been, but I couldn't remember. I felt like I'd seen something, but maybe it was just like a newsletter saying that they would. So yeah, hopefully we can get involved in that, because the two Thompson Bros, and the other staff up there, good group of people. So we'll get this one done. We'll get this open. The cork feels quite like, or maybe it's just a tin. I was going to say the cork feels loose, but I think it's just the aluminium. The aluminum, jaggy. Right. Get this popped. Right, off for the camera. I am sweaty Betty. That almost sounded artificial. I've got a clean glass here. I should probably just use the clean glass. I've been like rinsing this out with water. What glass have I got? Well, it's a Canary's Head ones, but I think I've had it in the dishwasher a bit. Jesus. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It almost looks like a crack. But it's Canary's Head Whiskies logo. Like I say, I've had it in the dishwasher, so the engraving's a bit faded. Yeah. Have we poured anything else? Is anybody drinking whiskey? Bart, are you now on whiskey, or are you still being I don't think I should say it, being a cat and drinking beer? I don't want to be catist or animalist, but basically being a pussy. Are you going to drink some whiskey? I'm almost finished my beer as well. I think I'm going to have the Weiss beer soon. Yeah, Weiss beer time. So I don't know how much this cost me. I should have had some detail. Like I said, this is impromptu. I feel bad. I maybe should have done some sort of preparation prior to this, but it was last minute, very last minute. So yeah, this Glenelgan, I think it was £60. I could be wrong. I bet you Andrew will be able to tell me. So yeah, 11-year-old, and I'm certain it's a Glenelgan. I'm sure it was only like £60. Let's see. Oh no, I was going to pour my Weiss beer. God dang it. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, next time we will have a topic. Next time we'll have some sort of structure to this. I need people on here. I need persons. I need friends. I need I need folk who are a lot smarter and a lot more articulated than me, that I can basically let run, but still get all the glory, still be the host. But just someone that can talk a little bit better than I can. Yeah. So yeah, let's get this Weiss beer in here. Oh God, I love Weiss beer. I love it on a. I don't know how I got into it. I think it might have been. I don't know if it was in Germany that I started drinking it, or if it's. I've got a friend, a close friend. Not seen him in a while, unfortunately, but I've got a close friend who's half German. He might have introduced it to me. Yeah, I don't know where I started, but I've got. I love it. I absolutely love this stuff, and especially for some reason I had a craving for it the other day. It was nice and warm outside. The sun was out, and yeah, I had no Weiss beer in the house, but I had a huge craving for it. I needed it straight away, ASAP in my bloodstream. So yeah, I went out to Aldi and I got these 2 bottles, and now I'm drinking it on a camera inside where there's no sun, but I am still equally melting, equally sweating. There we go. I'm running out of space to put things. What have we got? But last sips, already thinking about the dram. Yeah, what are you going to pour? Go Highland, and go B. Yeah, go Highland and go B. Andrew, I've got 4 Dornocks and another on its way, and a 17 other Thompson Post bottles. Yeah. Yeah, they had the recent ballot, but like I say, I've been trying to curb my spending, spend a lot less this year, which I have done. I've bought fewer bottles, so I'm happy with that. But I'm getting I'm getting itchy. I am. It's terrible. Like I feel like I need to be spending money on some whiskey and buying whiskey, but I'm managing to have some sort of restraint, and I've not completely exploded yet, but I feel it in the back of my head. I feel it here. I feel like I could. Feel like I could just like explode and yeah, buy a lot. Especially with like the Dornoch ballots seem to be quite consistent. They seem to be coming out quite frequently, and I have bought some recently. But yeah, I think I've got quite a few bottles of Dornoch. Like I said, I've only got 2 of their own casks, cask bottles, and yeah, I've maybe not got 17, but I've got a fair few Dornoch stuff. Yeah, I've still got the Campbelltown ones open, the 5-year-olds. I need to get through them. I've not really been in the mood for them. I reviewed them and I really enjoyed them, and they are decent whiskies. But I feel like I've been like kind of keeping away from them for some reason. 65 sounds about right for the Secret Space side, but I didn't buy one. Ooh, I've got a whiskey you don't have. Uh, anyway, cheers. Here's some beer. Mm, lovely, 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 lovely. Uh, yeah, so I'll put that on there and hopefully it'll stay steady. Oof, we've been an hour now. I don't want to run out of things to say. I was planning to go for 2 hours, 7 till 9. But if we do come to a natural end, a natural climax, if we all climax together and we feel we've reached that point, then yeah, I'll happily stop. If anybody feels unsafe, just say stop. Just say you're a dick. Tell me shut up. So this Glenelgan, I'm sure it's Glenelgan. Oh, I was not expecting that. It's got any tasting notes on it. It's like, I think yeasty might be the right description. It's quite active. Um, I was just looking at the wheat beer because wheat beer is quite active, but no, it's very active. I feel, it's very spirity. I have just let it sit for a bit. Maybe I need to let it sit a little bit longer. But it's also, yeah, I don't know. It's like I always describe it as fizzy. I think that's my go-to phrase, go-to description for that kind of active cask smell, fizzy. Even though fizzy's not a smell, I know. Oof, 48.5, but it is slightly burning the nose. See what the palate's like. I reckon this will need water. Like I say, it's only the first dram, first popping. There's nothing, no tasting notes, which is fine. I'm not bothered. I don't expect to be swayed by tasting notes, but sometimes you do. But yeah, the palate on this one. Hmm, God, I think it needs time, a little bit of time. Maybe a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit more in it, but I think I'll leave this. Maybe I'll leave the cork open for a bit, let it breathe. But yeah, it's one of those ones where I think after I know I've already said it, but I think after a bit of time, it will really open up and it will flourish and flower into something beautiful. But at the moment, it's just quite, I don't think harsh is the word. It's just very powerful, very active. Yeah, I think active is the only way to describe it. Ooh. Mostly buying brand new distilleries like Bonington. Yeah, I've seen Bonington. Is that in Edinburgh? Bonington, is it? Is it an Edinburgh distillery? Clydeside. Clydeside. Pardon me. Jesus Christ. Shouldn't have broccoli before lives. Clydeside. What's your? Have you? I know you said you've only got a few opened compared to how many bottles you've got, but is Clydeside one of them? Because I've had a few examples of Clydeside. There was one I enjoyed. I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. But we done a tour at the Clydeside distillery. Great tour. No denying that. No issues with the tour. But I think the whiskies are a bit lackluster. I feel like they could be, and I've probably said this before. Both Mark and I agreed with this. It might have been Mark that said it, to be honest. But the where the Clyde is and the background, the history, the working man's landscape, the dirtiness, the griminess, the coal and the engines and all that shit, um, all that stuff that they use to romanticize whiskey. That should be put into the whiskey, and the whiskey should taste like that. It should. I feel it should be a dirty Glasgow dram. It should be just engine oil. It should just be funky, but it's very. It's opposite to that. It's quite a tame whiskey. Yeah, nothing that I've been enamored with, nothing that I've found interesting enough to buy a bottle. So yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what your thoughts are if you've got a few open. Ballandalloch, yeah, I've Jason, the ever so loved Jason, who got a lot of hate on the last live stream I done with him, but I don't think he cares. Neither he should. Yeah, he gave me a couple samples of Ballandalloch, and yeah, great stuff. No denying it. There's no other than the price. That's the only quarrel I have, but very reminiscent of Daft Mill instead, in the sense of quality and in the sense of price. If you're willing to pay it, and if you're that kind of taken over by it, which I was with Daft Mill, I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah, then fair do. But yeah, I've not bought a bottle of Ballon d'Arc yet. I've been tempted, but because of the samples that Jason sent me, but yeah, it's a lot of money. And you've also bought some closed ones, Glenalbyn, Northport. Yeah, Glenalbyn, I've not tried. Yeah, I've had a few closed bottles, or I've tried a few closed bottles, closed distilleries, closed bottles. Yeah, you can't have a closed bottle. You tit. I've tried St Magdalene. That was Stevie. He had a was it a Gordon MacPhail one? Like some sort of, maybe like the old bottle that looked like that. I don't know if that was an old Gordon MacPhail style label. But he had something. It might have been Gordon MacPhail, St Magdalene, and it was really nice. Quite interesting. Obviously, like I said, that Rare Ayrshire. But I've not had a lot of Glenvoar. I also bought a bottle of that off the auction, 8-year-old for like £200. But it's great. It, I think it's worth that to travel to the past. There I go romanticising things again. But yeah, I enjoy closed distilleries. I enjoy discovering and seeing what they have to offer. Yeah, there we go. It's just you and I, Andrew. We're just having a chat. There are other people here, but it's fine. Those 6 are all in the tasting backlog awaiting their turn. Clydeside I bought is the Napier that Roy recommended. Yeah, I've got no idea about the Napier. I couldn't tell you. I've got no. I don't know what's matured in. I don't know what age it is. I'll need to have a look. I'll maybe have a look at. I don't know if it was one of Roy's live streams or. But yeah, I'll have a look. Like I said, went to the distillery. I think we tried maybe 3 or 4. They actually had. My memory's terrible. They had like 2 bottles. One was like done in sherry, and one was done in bourbon. I don't know if it was just their like distillate matured for a couple of years or whatever, but the bourbon one was fantastic. And I was like, oh, do you sell this? And they're like, no. And you're thinking, why? Like what they had was so good, but they weren't selling it. I'm guessing they have a set, not ingredient or formula, but a set criteria that they're going towards. And this maybe just didn't fit the profile, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I did say to the guy cheekily, he had maybe half a bottle of it left. It was already open. I was like, is there anything I can do to get that bottle off you if it's good? He's like, no, because it's for the tours. So yeah. But other than that, Clydeside not something that I've been that keen to go to, that keen to try because of the experience at the tour. The whiskies that I tried there was nothing fantastic for me. Brassy, we got some cask ends at one of the Fife Whisky Festivals. Brassy whiskies, and that really struck a chord with me. And I've tried a couple in the pot still. Once again, I've not bought any bottles for some reason, but Brassy been on my radar for sure. Something that I've been wanting to go for. I think I've got 17 or 18 closed distilleries. Yeah, I've not got that many. I've got Rosebank, but now it's back open, so it can now get struck off the list. There's been a closed distillery. Um, so yeah, the Napier is a 6-year-old sherried one. I see. I wonder if how much the sherry helps. But yeah, this unfortunately, did I add water to it? I think I did. Yeah, almost like I say rubbery. Yeah, I'm not too at the moment. The hard working was a lot better. But yeah, I think I'll give it time to open up. I don't want to judge. A bottle on its neck. Oh, this is not a comfy seat. Well, he's saying the last bottle I bought was a Powers 12 pot still, paid 52 quid. It felt like a rip off in Belfast International. Still, it was worth it. I've been meaning to get. I was going to say I've been meaning to get an Irish whiskey, but that's a lie. I've been meaning to buy certain Irish bottles that people have recommended. Powers is one of them. Redbreast, like the 12 or the cask strength, I've been meaning to get and buy. But I really struggle parting my cash with that pesky Irish stuff, just because there's so much Scotch. It's the same with English whiskey. Have I bought an English bottle? I don't think I have. Um, but I've had a couple Bimbers. I've not had Cotswolds. I have had an English bottle. Actually, I had the English Whisky Company, which was part of who was the club? Somerton Whisky Club. They sent a bottle, £50. You pay is it a month or every 2 months, and you get a bottle. Yeah, I think it's every 2 months, and it was this English Whisky Company, and it was stinking. It was absolutely stinking. I think I actually went down the drain, and I think I've done that once or twice. Once was a Campbelltown lock, an old Campbelltown lock, and the more, pardon me, the more uniform bottles, not the stumpy kind of Springbank bottles, but the older style Campbell lock, and it was like paint thinner. So that went down the sink. But yeah, I maybe bought three whiskies. I have put three whiskies down the sink. Bowmore Black Rock, that old style Campbelltown lock, that rhymed, and the English whiskey. Yeah, not great at all. But yeah, I wouldn't mind trying. I feel like that's where my um, palate, not I'm not gonna, yeah, my palate and my um, knowledge and channel maybe have a bit of a fall down. Like I don't try enough world whiskey, or English Irish. I've tried like stuff from Paul Johns. I had a lot of Paul Johns, but yeah, I think I should maybe try a little bit more. Um, I just you can't see past Scotch. And plus, I'm right here. I'm right in the middle of it all, the thick of it all. Why would I go away from it? It's just such beautiful stuff. Anyhow, so yeah, Powers has been on my list. That's a long way to say Powers been on my list. Uh, Jesus. 41 Irish and 38 English compared with 513 Scotch. So what are the rest? Yeah, 41 Irish and 38 English. 38 English. I'm sure. I think you are English yourself. 38 English. That is, yeah. I didn't realise there was 38. I suppose it could be from the same distillery. No, a lot of people. Obviously, you got the Oslas. You got a lot of the Barflies. You got Jeff, Ben, Roy. I don't know Roy actually, but you've got these kind of people exclaiming how good Cotswolds is. Uh, I don't know if Jim, the whiskey novice, I take a lot of his word, what Jim says, because I feel like him and I have quite similar palates. But yeah, I see a lot of love, a lot of good reviews on Cotswolds, and I take it with a pinch of salt because I know a lot of people get sent samples. I know they were doing a lot of PR stuff, but it's definitely a distillery that I feel inclined to try because these reviews. But like I said, I'm on the fence because how much of a skeptic I am and how much I don't believe the honesty of all these reviews. Some might be honest. There is also a lot of credibility in quite a few reviewers. I don't know. I'm going on for a tangent, a terrible, terrible tangent, just digging myself a hole. But yeah, it would be interesting to see what you people think. If Andrew, if you've tried Cotswold, if anybody else has tried it in the chat, because it's one that I see pop up regularly and one that I almost feel inclined to buy. So you've got 35 countries covered so far. 35. Well, Scotland, England, and Ireland are three. India, four. Sweden. I'm not going to count all the countries, but I didn't realise there was 35. Is there 35? You got Australia. Is there really 35 countries making whiskey? I suppose you've got like what was the one what was the one recently? There was a weird one. Was it Taiwan or there was somewhere weird Vietnam maybe? That not weird isn't the countries weird isn't the fact that they're making whiskey weird, but surely there's not 35 countries making whiskey. surely. Aye, so this secret Speyside, I'm almost gutted I opened it now, but nah, it'll open up. I'm a little bit shocked at how much I'm not really enjoying it. Might have been the dram before, might have been the broccoli. Uh, who knows? I'm going to add a little bit more water to it. See what happens. Yeah, I had salmon, broccoli, rice, and sweet potato wedges. Love sweet potato wedges. Love salmon too. Salmon's great. In fact, broccoli's great as well. See, roasting broccoli in the oven, just salt and pepper. God, olive oil over it, drizzle it, smother it in olive oil. Aye, I'm not sure about this. I was hoping to enjoy it more than I am. It was actually quite a surprise. I went to, no, I bought one. Yeah, I think I bought one. Was it this one? Oh no, it was a 17-year-old, which I think is Glen Elgin. This might not be Glen Elgin actually. I've been saying it. I've been saying it over and over, but it might actually not be Glen Elgin. This might be something else. Anywho, it was a 17-year-old I was thinking about. That's a Glen Elgin. I don't know why I'm not enjoying this. Like I say, it could just be the neck pour. And hopefully 1 out of 3, I know I had the Springbank, 1 out of 4, not being enjoyed as a good ratio. Come from 22. So there's 22 English distilleries. I suppose, aye, there is quite a few. They're all popping up. Is it England you're from, Andrew? I'm sure it's England. I'm sure you're English. I was actually hoping to kind of like the English Whiskey Company one because I used to work in Norwich I used to fly from Norwich, and I wouldn't say I've got fond memories of it, but there was that kind of tie, that kind of link. So I thought, oh, this could be quite cool. Or not Norwich, it's from Norfolk, sorry. But yeah, it was horrendous. Mm. Someone could have told me that was 2 sips. Whew. Jesus. It's quite citrusy. Maybe I just need to be taking bigger sips. That was definitely 2 mouthfuls and I just crammed it in the one. Yeah, it's very citrusy. Maybe that's why I'm feeling a bit off putting, but I felt like the first nose was hella rubbery. Nah, I'm hoping it'll open up. I'm not going to say it's crap. Currently it's crap. But I'm not going to say that whiskey's crap. Like Willie said earlier, time, place, who, what, when, where, why, how, whom. But no, I'm not that taken back by it for the first pour. Hopefully it'll open up a bit. 2 refill sherry butts. So it can't be that active if it's like, well, it could be. It felt a lot more active, but refill sherry I wouldn't expect to be super active. But hey ho, I don't know that much about casks. Some have more examples. I've got only one each from Liechtenstein, Czechoslovakia. Is it Czechoslovakia, not just Czech Republic, and Namibia, Namibia, for instance. There are at least 40 English distilleries, and yes, you are English. Yeah, I thought so. Something in the back of my head. 40 English distilleries, that's mental. Yeah, I wonder, it'd be interesting to see a timeline of these distilleries. I'm assuming some of them were already prior making gin, but it'd be interesting to see how these distilleries appeared on a timeline because obviously the whisky industry had a bit of a boom, and I do feel like it's slowing down. You're looking at the auctions, you're looking at Springbanks, yeah, they're still double the price, but they're nowhere near what they were maybe last year, last December. I remember like what one came out, it might have been the Oloroso local barley. I was going for like 600 quid. But aye, it seems to have slowed down. which is somewhat good, but I don't know how that bodes for the rest of the whiskey industry anyway. The 80s called, they want Czechoslovakia back, yeah. Well, there's Andrew. When they made the whiskey, it was still Czechoslovakia. It isn't now. Well, that's pretty cool. Does it say that on the bottle? That'd be quite a um, cool little fact. Yeah, wonder if it adds value to it in any sense. I mean, it would add the interest factor. I don't know why I did that with my hands. Just stop. Yeah. Do I want to open this Hazelburn? Yes, yes, I do. Where did I buy this? Where did I buy this? I bought this somewhere. It might have been in Cadenheads. God knows. I bought it somewhere. Yeah. Let's see what this is like. I believe it's just bourbon. Could be wrong. I mean, it's light. Could be refill sherry. But let's get it opened. Let's get it popped. And let's get it drunk. Let's get it. See what it's like. What year is this again? Was it 2023, 17th of May 2023, this was bottled. If anybody's got Google open, you can Google it. I don't want to be Googling it when I'm on this camera, but I would Google it under normal circumstances. 46% ABV, 17th of May 2023. Let's get it. Let's go for it. Let's pop it. I feel like the Secret Space Egg from Thomson Bros was a better pop. Aye. They used to have an empty of the Czech one and Fiddlers and the Drum na Drochit. Don't think I've heard of that place. The Fiddlers. No, I don't think so. Used to have an empty one. I'm guessing it's closed. It would be quite and I'm only saying I'm guessing it's closed because 98% of the collection's closed or something like that. Yeah, because that'd be something interesting to try. Gassy. I'll be half the dash. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Slanger. Yeah, thanks for joining, Willie. Been a little bit impromptu, a little bit off the cuff, a little bit of me just chatting shit, but there you go. I hope you've got something from it, and I hope you're having a jam. Cheers for joining us. Yeah, what made you buy the Czechoslovakia whiskey? Why? How did you come across something of such uniqueness? Does anything really beat Springbank? I know it's Hazelburn, but does anything really? There's just something. There's just something about it. A familiarity. There's a familiarness that's just so beautiful. It's just lush, just lovely. When I'm sitting at work, when I go out to work and I can't have alcohol for 2 weeks, and I think about whiskey, it's Springbank sometimes. Majority of the times that I think about, it's that whiskey, that smell. Oh, maybe not Springbank, but it's this smell. It's just fantastic. Oh, what you think the bottle is closed? 873 of them are open. What? Did I get that wrong? Ooh. I'm scrolling back now. Did I honestly read that wrong? Ah, maybe I did. I can't find it. 873 of them are opened. Good on you. That is a lot. I feel bad when I've got like 10, 12 open. In fact, I've maybe had more. Yeah, I feel bad when I've got too many open because I feel like I should be drinking the bottles first before opening more. 873. How do you choose? How do you sit down? How do you sit down one night and think I'm going to have a dram, and you look at all the bottles around the house and you say I'm going to have that one? That is a task on itself. It's an accomplishment on itself. But yeah, only 6 are closed. Yeah, I must have read it wrong. This is a great nose. I think I'll have this, and then we'll call it a night. Like I said, next time when I do a live, it's when it's not lastminute.com. We will have a structure, hopefully have a guest, and have a decent topic. But I've still enjoyed myself. I've still enjoyed talking to yourselves, and I hope you have had some sort of enjoyment out of it. It's not all about the views and the fame. It's about just chilling, having a good time. This is just, and speaking to people that you can't normally speak to. Maybe I should just do Zooms, some sort of like Zooms, so you can actually speak back and forth rather than just do text. But this will have to do for now. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I might even have another dram of this from when I'm off camera. The Ardnamurchan's still up there, and I'm surprised I'm saying it. It's a completely different monster, completely different dram to the. I mean, obviously, Swingback 30 was outstanding, but the Ardnamurchan's completely different to the Hazelburn. So I wouldn't want to pit the two against each other, but yeah, I'm so glad I got that bottle. So glad I walked into the shop at the time that someone was pouring or looking to pour drams. Aye, it actually feels a little dirtier, funkier. Yeah, it feels a little funkier than it has the right to be. It's more Springbank in character, I feel. I've always thought of Hazelburn as a more refined Campbelltown, a more refined drinker. Uh, but it's actually, yeah, I feel like this one's a little dirty. Uh, 4 are back up for open ones. One is a gift I didn't want, and one is a gift I haven't had the chance to deliver. So I won't ask what the one is that is a gift that you don't want, because that would be incriminating yourself and the co-signee. Is the co-signee the person that sends it or the person that receives it? God knows, I'm not smart. Yeah. Yeah, one's a gift you hadn't had the chance to deliver. I hope I've not been the only one drinking tonight. I know Bart's had some beer. Hopefully he's on the drams now. I hope yourself, Andrew, have had a few, or have had one or two. An hour and a half through 4 drams. They've not been huge, and a beer's probably quite quick going. But it is a little bit nerve wracking. I don't know why. This has felt a bit more comfortable actually, rather than having a guest. I feel a little bit pressure when you have a guest, because you don't want to let them down. You don't want to waste their time. But I suppose if they agree to come on, then they've probably watched a live or watched some of the videos and don't expect it to be a waste of time. But that's how I feel when on camera and when you're talking to someone. You can sometimes feel like you're taking up their time for your own benefit, and that's what I feel like sometimes. So yeah, this has been a lot more chill, a little bit more laid back because it hasn't been a structure. It's been a little bit a little bit anxious trying to think of things to talk about, and I hope I've managed well. But I also want it to be a bit of an interaction, not just me talking all the time, but obviously it's going to be that because it's just me. Um, but you're there, keep me company. It's been a good night. This is a great dram. It'll do. At least caffeine is somewhat a drug. um, yeah. So I'd say my favourite tonight, I'm going to put the Springbank 30 in there, but my favourite's been this Ardnamurchan, which I've kind of already touched on. The Hazelburn next, and then the Secret Speyside. This Hazelburn is great, but for some reason the Ardnamurchan just takes the lead a little bit. This Secret Speyside, a little bit of a letdown at the moment. I'm hoping it'll open up, and I'm hoping it will provide a lot better experience when am I back to work. I have got 2 weeks to go today. Today's Thursday, so I've got 2 weeks off. We've got don't tell anyone. We've got Louise's 30th coming up. Sorry, her 29th, 29th. She doesn't want it to be known as a 30th. So we've got that. We've got a party arranged for that. Then what else have I got planned? I don't think I've got anything else planned. Obviously, super looking forward. Super serious. Super looking forward to Campbelltown. For those of you that don't know, the Tabes group are going on tour. Bart's coming from the Netherlands. We're going to Campbelltown for, what is it, the 25th to 29th? 4 nights, 5 nights? Yeah, or 22nd? I don't know the dates. I can double check. I do know the dates, but I can double check. But we're going to Campbelltown. And there's another Tabes person here. It's Gaz. Yeah, I've stopped talking about Campbelltown now because unfortunately Gary is the only Tabes member that cannot make it. But yeah, looking forward to that coming up. I was just saying, Gary, earlier, it would be good to, 22nd to the 25th. Yeah, I knew the 25th was in there somewhere. I have got it in my diary. I was saying earlier, Gary, in the chat that I'd love to do a live with either yourself or Matt, or yourself and Matt, and we can discuss all things shops, all things whisky shops, and what makes a good whisky shop, what kind of what makes a bad whisky shop, if that's the correct term. I think I said something better to you earlier when I when I WhatsApped you and I texted you, but the word eludes me. It's I can't think of it. But what pitfalls the whisky shops get into that makes them a little less attractive to the consumer, to the drinker. So yeah, it would be good to do that at some point. Do a shop. I'd always wanted to do a shop series of videos, but once again, the stress or the paranoia of wasting someone's time. I thought about doing interviews of different shops that I frequently visit and frequently use. Would be a good little series on YouTube, having a little interview with different shop owners or different people that work in the shops. And I might still do that at some point, but it's getting over the getting over the fact that you're going to be asking people to take time out of their lives to talk to me. So yeah, epic timing. Yeah, it was a great timing. We were just about to start talking about you. Would absolutely be up for it. Yeah, if it's either you or Matt or both of you, yeah, it'd be good. It might even be I'll do a live stream of that, and then that could lead on to a series of speaking about shops. There's a lot to unpack, pun intended, when it comes to where, when, and why we shop, where we do. Yeah, I think it's a great topic for discussion, whether it be in live format or a series. But I've always wanted to interview, or not even interview, just have a conversation with people in the shop, in the retail industry, the whiskey retail industry, and see their opinions on it, because I know there's shops that I frequently go, Dunkeld, Whisky Box, Drinkmonger and Pitlochry for sure. Well, my whiskies I'm in now and then, Edinburgh, but Cadenheads I'm in. You've got the Good Spirits in Glasgow. You've also got yourselves, obviously being an online shop. There's some different factors involved there. You can't personally visit. But aye, there's, I think, Abbey Whiskey as well. I've shopped there a couple of times, maybe not as much as other shops, but it's also an online retailer. So yeah, I think it'd be worthwhile, a good little series to do, and a good conversation. Plus, not that not that I've got any pull or whatever, but if it helps get someone else to a shop, or to a worthwhile shop, an independent shop, I know you can't really class Drinkmonger and Royal Mill whiskies independent, can you? But shops that are definitely worth people spending time and money on, because there's Master of Malt and there's Whisky Exchange, and yeah, you get good deals in that, but there's not the personal touch. And yeah, it's just a huge conglomerate, a huge faceless, faceless capitalistic identity. Uh, this is slowly turned into a communist communist podcast. No, I don't know what I'm saying. I Stuart Allison are not a communist. Hello, I have set you a challenge. What is the challenge? I'd mentioned you earlier, Gav. Oh, I was saying that you gave me a Springbank 30-year-old sample. It wasn't this one. This was given to me by Stevie. He got it from the Drinkmonger, but I was talking about you earlier. I hope you're well. I feel like I've not seen you in a while. It'd be good to get a catch up. I see you've got a new lady friend and that you went to Tony's wedding. I hope all was well, and I hope you enjoyed your time. It'd be good to catch up. Good to see you in person again. Maybe go through Edinburgh, get a few drams and a few beers. See when Tony's free. I support the Spirit Specialist in Yorkshire whenever I can. I think I have heard of them. I've never bought from them, in all honesty, but I think I have heard of them. Yeah, I think shops like, I used to go to the Scottish Gantry, a terrible, terrible shop now for me, and I'm gutted what happened to them. Kev Granton, Roy's cousin, he has his own YouTube channel, which has overtaken mine, which I'm not bitter about at all. Anyway, Kev's a great guy. He used to work in the Scottish Gantry, and I used to go there all the time just to talk to him. The majority of the time, I'd probably buy a bottle. It was local enough. Stirling is local enough to me. So I'd go through, speak to Kevin, maybe have a few drams, and just chat general shit about whiskey. But then he left, and I was maybe blindsided by Kevin because of his personality. Not intentionally, he wasn't blindsiding me intentionally. But his personality, how outgoing he is, and I was kind of just, it was local. I thought, I'll pay for what I pay, and I think a lot of times he gave me a little bit of discount, but the prices in there are extortionate. £10, £15, sometimes way more. I know they've got two Daft Mills in there sitting at like just normal Daft Mills, not like cash strength or anything, but sitting at like £300 a bottle. I don't know if they sell for private sellers, but I was in there recently. I always go popping in just to see what the crack is. But I also feel it's quite maybe more suited to tourism just because of where it is. But I also feel it's quite a cold shop when you walk in. My missus made a comment the other day, completely unprovoked, but she said it's for her when she's looking at gin or vodka or anything like that. She says it seems just to be always the same stuff. nothing new, uh, nothing that you can't get elsewhere. Nothing, maybe not what you can't get elsewhere, but just yeah, basically just the same old crap. Um, for her, but for me, the whiskies are just yeah overpriced. And it's a shame because, like I say, I used to frequent that shop and I used to really enjoy it. But nah, it's since Kev's went, the attraction for me, yes, I'm attracted to Kev. The attraction for me has faded. Um, I did go to a tasting with them. They had a tasting at the Golden Lion in Stirling, and it was good. But yeah, the prices are too much. And that's all I've got to say on shitting on the Scottish gantry. Their tastings, I think they do a good job of the tastings. They frequently have tastings coming out. No discredit there with the tastings, but it's just the pricing. The pricing's either touristy, intentionally high, or just yeah, it's just off. I know from speaking to people, there's an RRP kind of scale, and you can be at the lower percentage or the higher percentage, and it seems that they're kind of at the higher end. Hmm. Yeah, glad I purchased this. I don't think it was too expensive. Maybe £50 a bottle. Um, I'd happily have two bottles of this. Not that I would need it, but I'd happily have two bottles of that. The neck pour, straight off the mark, good stuff. Uh, yeah, enjoying it. It'll be good to review, good to sit down with, take notes. Yeah, lovely. Uh, well, if you've got the Ardent Market of the Good Spirits, you must have switched to Loving Roddy. Switch to Loving Roddy. I don't know what that means. I think I know who Roddy is. Possibly long hair, beard. I think that's Roddy. I could be wrong. The Good Spirits, personally, I want to love the shop. I do. Some of the staff, yeah. There's like I said, the guy with the curly hair. I can't remember his name. Not curly, but kind of ginger, magnificent beard. He's great. Every time I go in, there's certain staff that I don't really get on with. Well, not get on with, not personally, but I just feel a bit cold. Um, and yeah, they normally give you drams to try, which is good. Uh, it's not a bad shop. They have a great range. They have a fantastic range. But I think for me, it just depends who you get. It depends who. There's a guy with a kind of quite a tall guy with a beard, black hair or brown hair, glasses. He's fantastic. And there are some great people in that shop that sometimes I personally feel it can be a bit of hit and a miss with who you get. But I suppose some shops will be like that. But Good Spirits, yeah, the range they have in there, it's predominantly independent bottlers, which is great, which is one of the main reasons I love Dunkeld Whiskey Box. It's a small shop, but the Dunkeld Whiskey Box, but aye, and Will and his wife, I believe, I can't remember her name now, but the people in there, and Alan as well, I think Alan's great. The people in that shop are great. Anyway, I've shopped there, but not often in Glasgow. Yeah, it's a shop you need to visit when you're in Glasgow for sure. Uh, and I expect the majority of the time people will have a great time, a great experience in there. And I think just because where I am and how often I can go to there and get into there, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. And yeah, I don't know. I expect that'll be with maybe a lot of shops could be like that. We've got Alan. How's it going? Long time no speak. I hope you're well. It'd be good to know when you're back up in Falkirk. Can we get a pint of Guinness? This isn't Guinness, it's wheat beer. Bye. Hope you're doing well. A wee impromptu live tonight. Almost wrapping up, to be honest. Nothing too strenuous. Nothing too noteworthy. No structure, no topic, just a little bit of a chat, a little bit of a kind of friendly pub feel. Just a group of folk talking shit, shooting the shit, see what's going on. Carnegie Whiskey Cellars in Dornoch, on the other hand, have sold me loads. I've visited there once. I didn't realise they have an online shop. Makes sense. I've been in there. Quite a weird layout, but yeah, I had a fine time in there. Did you just nose that beer? Maybe I did. I've obviously had whiskey, so it's maybe just a secondary muscle memory. It's maybe just a reaction. Anytime I've got a glass, to be fair, I have noticed myself. I have noticed myself doing this before with like random shit. It's stuff that I just shouldn't be nosing, and I have. I I don't rate it. I think that must be good spirits. Possibly. Aye, it's like I said. If it is good spirits, the good spirits are hit and miss for me. Um, I think they have. Yeah, it's a hit and a miss. um, yeah, I don't know the guy's name. The guy with the beard, and I like him. He's very friendly. He's always offering me drams when I go in to try, and yeah, I've got no issues. Uh, the whiskey friend completed my challenge. I hope it's not a blind challenge, because the last time when I was at your house and we had blind tasting, to be fair, I at least got that the Irish, and I'm standing by that I did not enjoy the Irish, and I knew that blind as soon as I had it. But I didn't do too well at that blind tasting. I think I was just nervous. I'm putting it down to nerves. Aye. I'll be interested to see what the challenge is, Gav. If it's not blind, then it'll be fine. If I do loads of research and cheat, I'll give you a shout in next time, Falkirk. Aye, please do, because I'm not down England very much. I am seldom down that way. Nothing against England, really. But no, I think you're more likely to be in Falkirk than I am. I think, what's it, Manchester you're in now? Is it Manchester? I feel like you're somewhere near Manchester, but yeah, I'm less likely to be down there. So, aye. I think that's all I've got to say. All my ramblings, all my nonsense out of my system for tonight. Uh, you liar, you have it down here. You love it down here. Yeah. certain parts, certain parts are nice. I think the further south, and I didn't mind Norwich. Norwich is nice enough, but I used to work down there. I used to have to go to Great Yarmouth and that. Didn't really like that. A lot of racism down there. Might have just been my experience. But the flatness of the Norfolk area, I know the further south, further north you get, the more hilly, the Lake District and all that. Yeah, it's very flat and a very different place from Scotland. I love where I live. I love Scotland. There's no denying that. The hills, the scenery, the culture, the people. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's homesick. Maybe because I used to work down there, but yeah, it's not. It's not the worst place in the world. Just digging myself a hole here. Yeah, Manchester. Yeah, I thought it was. I don't think I've ever been to Manchester. To be fair, it's somewhere I probably would like to visit. What about your bromance in Newcastle? I just realised who it is. Yeah, Newcastle is fantastic. Yeah, Newcastle's great. Anything north, North England, Newcastle's lovely. Newcastle's class. Basically Scotland. Basically Scotland 2.0. I just got a message. You'll be unplugged soon if you keep it up being this loud. Oof, yeah, yeah. It's the is it baritone? Is that right, or soprano? It's the deepness that travels through the house. I love England, especially against Spain. Yes. Anyway, well said. Yes. Newcastle is class. We can't wait to come down again, especially I want to see the bridge again. The bridge is so cool, Millennium Bridge, and also beer, lots of beer. Um, one last thing. Croydon is not the most scenic of places, but I grew up in Devon. Try that. Yeah, I've heard Devon. Yeah, I've heard Devon's lovely. I'm all for spectacles and lovely scenery. I don't know anything about Croydon, so I can comment. But yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to say. I hope you have enjoyed the live. It has been impromptu. It maybe hasn't had a lot of structure to it, a little bit of tangents here and there. But I've had a good time. I've enjoyed my whiskies, other than that secret space side. Not really enjoyed that tonight. First pour, can't really base too much in it. But I hope you have had a good night. Yeah, hope it's not been a waste. So yeah, thanks. I'm going to end the stream. Yeah.